meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, fasten your seatbelts. It's another week where we're watching a hurricane approaching the Louisiana coastline, hopefully the last. There's probably going to be another hurricane in the Caribbean, but that one should stay out to sea. But then again, I said this one should stay in the Caribbean or move out into the Atlantic, so that's the way it goes sometimes. So let's take a look at the big picture with respect to this storm and look at the upper level features that are going to be guiding Hurricane Zeta, not Delta, not Laura, not Beta. We've had the Greek alphabet. It's been hard to track them all this year, but we have this strong upper level low to the west, and then we have this high pressure ridge that was in the northwest Gulf yesterday. It is sliding smartly into the southwestern Atlantic, so around the periphery of that ridge, that's going to permit Hurricane Zeta to make a move through the Gulf of Mexico, and this upper level trough is going to be moving eastward, and that's going to push a front through the area and also more than likely shunt this hurricane away from Acadiana, but it's going to be a close call, but we're feeling more confident with the forecast tracker. Look at this. Look at all the winter weather advisories back into New Mexico, Texas as well. There's going to be snow flying in the air and frozen precipitation some 700-800 miles to our west-northwest. Meanwhile, a hurricane is going to be approaching from the south as we head into tomorrow night and going into Wednesday. So here's the picture on Hurricane Zeta, upgraded to a hurricane this afternoon after hurricane hunters got into it around 2 o'clock this afternoon. I was already writing a story for KATC.com saying it was going to be a hurricane at 1, but they waited another hour, and that kind of threw our schedule off, but hopefully we got the information out there. Here's Zeta right now, 80-mile-per-hour winds moving to the northwest at 10. So yesterday it was moving at 1 to 2 miles an hour. It was nearly stationary. Now it's finally moving to the northwest. It's going to cross the Yucatan, may weaken a little bit, but more than likely emerge in the Gulf of Mexico and stay a Category 1 hurricane all the way up to a Louisiana landfall, more than likely at this point. So that's what our friends in southeast Louisiana and Mississippi will have to prepare for. All the while, though, it's going to weaken pretty rapidly once it gets closer to the coast. Notice Acadiana on the western fringe of that a cone of uncertainty, so we're still not out of the woods yet, and that's why tropical storm watches have been posted for portions of Acadiana, including Vermilion, Iberia, St. Mary, Lower St. Martin Parish. This may stay a watch the whole period. Hurricane watch, though, from Morgan City on eastward to the Mississippi-Alabama border, and that watch will probably change over to our hurricane warning. Maybe see a tropical storm warnings here, but I wouldn't bet on it at this point because we don't see better than a 20 or 30% chance of tropical storm conditions, say, in St. Mary Parish. But with that in mind, let's take a look at the storm surge. Water still comes up. Even though the center of the storm's off to the east, hurricanes bring a mound of water that even if we have northeasterly winds, that mound of water will build 2 to 4 feet up in through Vermilion Bay. Hopefully that will not be the case, but keep that in mind. 4 to 6 southeastern Louisiana, including Grand Isle. Grand Isle is going to get hit hard by this system more than likely. So let's look at 3 models. We have the European model, which has been the westernmost model, but now shifting back farther to the east, also keeping this a very strong hurricane here, maybe more than a Cat 1, but we don't think that's going to be the case, but certainly a possibility. We can't discount it. Landfall, Terrebonne Parish, then going through NOLA, and then off into Mississippi as well. Dry air moves in as we head into Thursday. GFS model, this is the latest run, and we give this more credence because it's been much more consistent, not maybe as strong of a hurricane. Main impacts over eastern Louisiana, perhaps over toward Galliano, New Orleans, and then into Mississippi as well. And also drier air coming in as we head into Thursday. We'll be back to sunny skies and really fall-like temperatures. And the best model we've seen performing this year is the graph model. This is that new high-resolution model showing clouds coming in tonight through tomorrow, and then tomorrow afternoon, some tropical showers and thunder showers moving in across the area. So we'll watch that. That's going to be way ahead of Zeta. Then a little bit of a brief period. We have a cool front back to the west here. You can see that front moving eastward, and then Zeta coming into the picture as we go into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night. Here we have it at midnight close to Grand Isle, and the graph model bringing it into Mississippi and Alabama. Not an official forecast, but nonetheless a good model, so don't base your decisions on that particular model. As for winds, we're looking at most of the winds staying below 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The European, though, bringing it up to 40 to 50 50-mile-per-hour winds, perhaps Morgan City, those higher hurricane force winds, southeast Louisiana, and the Euro may be overdoing it, but going with some 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I'm going to show that graph model coming up in my Facebook Live at 7, so you can see that. Here's the GFS model, again showing winds not much more than a blustery day across the area. Those higher hurricane force winds over southeast Louisiana. Then we see the winds picking up behind that frontal boundary as that moves on through. As we get into the overnight hours, we'll have gusty winds behind this storm no matter what, thanks to that cold front edging in behind that area of low pressure. As for rainfall, we think the heaviest rains east of Acadiana, an inch or two or less for most of Acadiana. The Euro model saying much the same, but areas off to the east over into southeast Louisiana and Mississippi could see rainfall totals approaching 4 to 8 in isolated spots. But this storm is going to be moving along. The worst part will be on and over with in about a 4-hour period, wherever it makes landfall. So as we move ahead to tomorrow, rain chances perking up late in the afternoon into tomorrow evening, keeping an eye on Zeta, and we'll do the same here at KATC. Your higher rain chances coming in sometime Wednesday. This might be mainly late Wednesday night. Here comes the front, and after that, good looking weather as we go down the line with highs in the 60s and 70s, lows getting down into the 40s and 50s. Cool and dry for a while, and hopefully the last hurricane we'll talk about for Acadiana and Louisiana in 2020. Fingers crossed, but it's 2020 after all. Jim?